If I'm not mistaken, it looks like at some point
it was marked.
This was scratching on itself.
Yeah, it does look that way. All right, today, working on the 07 Yaris. Earlier today, while driving to a local town up north of here in the rain, the windshield wipers decided they weren't going to wipe anymore. They go up, but not back down. So we're proceeding to take everything apart and figure out what's going on. Got part of the way through. We were doing some pre-diagnostics. You have little clips. You got a point here and a point over there with these little slide clips that go in. You pop out. And then there's these little under clips right here you squeeze out to get this off. And these to get these off. Okay. And we pulled the panels off already. And you can see these little pop clips. They clip in here and here. You just undo them after you undo those corner ones. This one slides in, and it's just these two. I'm going to move this line so I can get this off. You have to unhook this, which is just a few little clips that pop in and out.
Gotta take off the wiper arms.
Yeah,
now.
That's the next step, and it's 14 millimeter.
We have two hypotheses on what's happening here. Guessing the teeth on one of the motors is warped
or stripped.
So they only, instead of being straight, they're kind of bent one way, so it'll turn one way but not the other.
And these just pop on and off. So I had to use a little flat screwdriver to pop this one off. This one just pulled off. Which, this hits you in there, so I know which one's which.
They shouldn't be different.
They will be, somehow, magically, because I'm working on the car.
You look like you should be running an off-road recovery service with that jacket.
Sometimes I feel about like I am. Oh, also, something if you have
trouble waiting to happen.
It's alright. It's not touching it. There it goes. It's not touching anything. There's a lack of flat surfaces on this car. But also clutch and brake master cylinder, which shares a reservoir, which I need to top off. It's not low, but it's getting there. Now let's see if I can...
Oh, you already got the nuts off.
Yep.
I didn't even notice that. Pull! Pull!
The hard part is that the springs are pushing down. See, this one will come off just fine. This one I've got
hold on.
A hood in the way.
These aren't keywayed at all, so you're going to have a fun time realigning them.
Realigning these. Well, yeah, I'll worry about that.
You don't want one going one way and the other going the other.
This one is difficult because the spring keeps pushing it up. There we go.
Now that should just come right off.
Right off and out of the way. Oh, wow, that bolt is demolished. That's going to be fun.
Yeah, that's not great.
I think that's a 12. Excuse me.
Ooh. Let's try something while he's off getting things. Yep. So it's inside the gear drive. I'm thinking there's a gear inside there that is stripped out in one direction but not the other.
Well, now they're going to be straight up. So...
Yeah, well, it makes it easier to align them that way. Well, if you're putting a new motor in anyways, and it's going to be whatever.
I was tightening.
conducting business. What are we taking off now?
Taking off the arm linkage that goes into the transmission. I'm going to have to take...
You're going to need to get this off
and that off.
And that one off.
Those are probably going to be 8mm.
They're not 10?
Nope, because that was a 10.
Yeah, we just replaced this. Does that look freshly replaced? What does that say on it? Read all instructions. Okay, that might actually be new. I don't think that would be on there from Toyota.
No.
Okay. Got both of these 10mm bolts out. Now, after playing with it a little bit, there's a little slide area it slides into back there. And then it pulls out. That just slides onto that right there. So,
There you go. Y'all can see that.
so yeah, the motor is part of the transmission. And it's going to be a push. Yeah, this is a push. A push and pull. There we go. So, the transmission and engine is one part. So, yeah. It's, those are Phillips. Take this off.
Yes, but are they Phillips CDI?
How many people, if you get that joke, congratulations. You're old too.
I'll include the link animation so y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, windshield wiper stopped in the wrong position to get these bolts off easily. I think I've got it moved enough I can get a screwdriver in there now. So that was what I was trying to do. I got it moved enough, I should be able to get a Phillips.
Just barely missed him bracing against the ground and pushing.
All right, this was the part that was here. Managed to take one of my broken screwdrivers and just get in there and twist it and pop it off. So that released. So now I can get to these because I already stripped that screw trying to use a Phillips screwdriver. Using a screwdriver and a soft bolts worked like always.
I'm noticing a running theme with Toyotas.
Wait, wrong way.
Great, but for whatever reason they hold all these high quality parts together with the worst bolts in human history. I don't.
Yeah, they're soft bolts.
On all GM products I've dealt with, it's the bolts are stronger than the metal the car's made out of.
The bolts are well made. The car is questionable. The good thing is when the door falls off of the car, the bolts are still there, so you can put a new door on.
Yes.
Now I have Rusty Chevrolet playing in my head from the doo-wops. It is the season.
The doo-wops, the youpers, whatever they're called.
The youpers, yeah.
Yep. Doop, 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 doop. On our Stunt Zombie main channel, that's there. That's a part of the playlist. Just look for the Christmas songs playlist, and it'll be the first one.
And these things are nice. These little wobble head sockets.
Yeah, they're not made for high torque though. So
No, but they're great for these little things.
Yeah.
You got to use a regular one for normal stuff.
I've used that for so many things.
Speaking of which, that was yours, and you're in before I lose it.
You're still gonna use it for this.
Well, not until after I get this order. Well, this was an original made in Japan. They replaced the motor and not the transmission.
I don't know how they did that.
See, they've busted the seal and took the screws off. So they removed the motor and not changed the transmission.
I don't know how they did that because you can't buy the two parts separately.
Probably a junkyard. Let's see if I can get this. I need a torque head. I'm going to take that torque head screw and take this apart. But it's a T20. This bolt was good and tight, but these, I didn't loosen these yet. They're just there.
Yeah, whoever replaced it didn't tighten it down. That's what that is. I don't think Toyota did that. I said replace.
Replace or rebuilt. This could
Replace in quotes.
This
Yeah.
could be a rebuild unit too, and they just did a horrible job of it. I've had more than enough trouble with rebuilds being garbage. And there we're in the transmission part. And yeah, the teeth are all gone. Look in there. See, it's got the screw drives it. Those teeth are all eaten away.
Cue
Plug it in and turn it on. Let's see what it does.
the Ernest P. Worrell. Hey.
You man the car. I think the key's still in it.
Yeah. Go turn it on, please.
I gotta move that. Plug. Wait.
Wait for it.
I can't. It's designed so that you can't plug it in when it's taken apart. So, but where's my broken screwdriver? That one's a bent screwdriver. But yeah, you can see it moves easily that way, and it's still catching that way. That's why it's moving one way and not the other. Let me see if I can get this gear out.
That's what I said I suspected going on. Goes one way but not the other.
But there you see what's left of the gear. I just pulled it out, and it's all full of plastic. But you can see where the gears work still, there's some gear still. Mm-hmm. So once it caught gears that worked, it ran.
Oh, this is a easy fix. All we need is just a 3D printer.
Yeah, I can pull that gear on out.
I'm kidding, by the way.
Yeah.
Judging by the way,
and this is really crunchy too.
Terrible sounds.
Yeah, this is really crunchy as well.
Give the audience cute dogs. Oh, never mind.
They're gone.
He doesn't have a shirt on. I'm not showing that on television.
Television. But look at where it's eating. It's even eaten into the back of the gear. So yeah, this thing is just stripped.
I have a feeling they took it apart and like cleaned it up some and tried to like bend the plastic.
Like I said,
teeth back.
Yeah, and I think they
to get it to work just to sell it.
I think they may have actually, since these screws are so loose, I think they actually replaced the motor. But
no, the other one part died. Now the other part died.
Yeah.
If you can replace both at the same time, I'd probably would. But
yeah,
it is whatever you can afford to do, I guess.
I feel like they just took it apart and cleaned it out and fiddled around with it till it worked.
I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. Said they did what they.
Or they bought like I said, they also may have bought a rebuild because this has been pulled apart and this might be a rebuilt part. And I've had so much trouble rebuilt parts being like this. They slap a new part on it and then put it back out and they don't rebuild it.
Yeah, they don't properly inspect and replace worn or loose worn parts and things.
I don't know why you would even try to do that because the whole thing itself is so cheap.
Yeah.
Ain't no telling.
It's definitely not a new part. That's that's garbage. That's all burnt up. Corroded in there, so maybe it was new from a junkyard, I don't know.
Yep. Slap another one in. Have windshield wipers that don't sound like sandpaper.
Yeah.
Is it sandpaper? It sounded like we were being attacked by a banshee. Ree! Ree!
Not sandpaper. Angry sandpaper.
Yep. Good grief, this is got some serious rust and corrosion going on inside of it.
Yeah.
I think this is a junkyard part.
Either that or they got it off the Titanic.
Yeah, I think this was a junkyard part. And like I said, in all defense, I've used parts that look like this on Jeeps because I couldn't get the part and I had no money.
Is there a seal of some variety on the plastic there that should be keeping that from getting wet?
There is. You have a seal that matches up with the windshield. And then you have another, you'll see right here, you have a little bit of a foam seal there, but it's not perfect and the foam's all crushed down.
We might want to try to reseal that a little bit so whatever new motor we put on there doesn't get soaked all the time.
The fun part is I'm going to have to put a tarp over this because that's the intake for the cab.
You might want to do that, yeah. So when are we getting when are you getting it?
I guess I'm going to order one and hope it shows up.
Yep.
Because I'm out of vehicles. I've got the Cherokee, I've got Valdez over there, and that's it. The truck's drivable for now. The clutch is going to go at any time, but it is drivable. I'll end up having a crash pad transmission at some point. I've driven without a clutch before.
Yeah.
Too many times.
Yes.
Let's see if I can get you under there. I'm gonna get it
So
I can at least close the hood.
Yeah, he's going to get this thing closed, and next shot you'll see is either the end screen or the him with a new jacket and a new shirt on, putting the new motor in.
Yeah, probably put a new motor in. Got a motor, so gonna have to take this apart again. I've had to use this a little bit with no motor. You pop this slides off here, and then you pop these little pins to take that off, and then these push back. It lifts up and out, just like that.
Somebody got a new puppy,
Oh dear.
I think.
And then that comes out of that lock point, and then this one you've got
Somewhere under there.
pin here to remove, and of course
Resume. We're finding.
yeah.
We're finding.
And this one
Broken
you have
clips.
Yeah, the clips are, well, they're not necessarily broken, they push in and up, and then you have a pin here to take out, and you have this little thing. One there, that's that. Okay, and there's one there, and there's one that holds this together.
And then you yank it. And then you yank it some more.
Wiggle it. This one will come off. They'll separate. There we go. The little clip there, and it pulls out that way. Be careful of the lines.
Yeah, don't rip those up.
And there we go.
Wonder if we should try to re-foam that.
I thought about that. I want to clean this out before I put it all back together. I can tell you that. Get all the junk out of
That's
here.
what I need to do on Sunny and clean out the air intake, because every time I turn the fan on in Sunny, it smells like potting soil. And there's where it all goes.
And I think hopefully that matches up.
That's a bit gooey.
Yeah, I'll clean that up and put some.
That's kind of nasty.
Yeah, I'll clean it up and put some dielectric on it, but I want to make sure these pins match, because this looks a little different, but says it's the right thing.
Yeah, I think it goes that way.
Yeah, it plugs in.
Okie dokie.
All right. I took some time while I had everything off to clean drains. You have a drain spot right here. It's a big slit underneath the window. There's another one exactly like that underneath the window over there. They were packed full of mud and leaves and garbage. If you get under here, you want to make sure to clean these out, because if you get stuff piled up in there, that's what can cause the front end of the car to rot out. These corners, because water builds up and that stuff just stays wet. So I got it out, got it cleaned out. I'm gonna get a brush to brush it out a little better, and then get back to the wipers.
And when you go through car washes and you hear the water trickling and it sounds like it's inside the car, it's all the water running down through those channels and against the firewall. That's what you're hearing.
Clean for a moment.
He's cleaned the edge of the windshield. And the part you missed, he said he knows it's going to have dust back in it the first road he drives down, but whatever.
Yeah, it'll be clean for a little bit.
This is your OCD moment of the day.
I'm going to armor all this rubber too. That way it's less likely to crack. I'll give it a good armor all after I clean it off. Alright, I've got the bolts tightened down and that one tightened enough that this is locked into where it needs to lock into. And now we're going to slide it back into its pin.
We're going to plug it in and test it before we attach more stuff.
We plugged the motor in and made sure that it moved, and it moved. So
well, we just want to, before we get everything attached, I want to make sure. Well, you've got to plug it in before you put it there because you can't reach the connector.
Oh, yeah. Just fit check it. Oh, dielectric grease.
Grease it up, grease it up, grease it up.
I use ballistol because it won't eat the rubber or the plastic or anything. It's
not a
pretty
sponsor.
inert, but it has a unique smell to it.
Smells like rotten cherries mixed with toe fungus and a dead squirrel on the side.
I don't think it's that bad. But.
I think that description would make Derek from Vice Grip Garage proud.
But just do that's what you do on this end. I clean this up some, do a little on this.
Oh, for whatever reason, I was like, wait a minute.
And I'll do a little in here.
I thought that was anti-seize for a second. I'm like, wait, you grabbed the wrong tube.
Yours are working on things that have electronics prone to getting shorted out by water. Has encouraged me to heavily use this stuff. There we go.
Click.
Line that pin up, and it slides on.
All aboard the magic school bus.
And now, one bolt
Oh my
there.
gosh, the school buses are trying to crash into each other. They don't stop at intersections either.
No one stops at the stop signs in this state. They're optional.
And if multiple people do stop, they're like, oh gosh, what do we do?
Now who goes? Who goes first?
I've been here for 10 minutes. What do we do?
Take these gloves off because they're oily. I'm just trying to get these in enough that it won't go flying off and bust the windshield.
That's part of the fun. Why? Replace your new windshield with a new windshield.
Are we not catching anything here?
We're just disco. We're just gonna ignore that and pretend like that little thing didn't come out of anything.
It actually came off of the old motor, but this one didn't have one, so it's where it goes. I'm just having trouble. It's not wanting to. There we go. Get the threading.
I have a massive truck and trailer to haul some plastic siding. This has been Judgments with Kit. I'm sorry. Let's not alienate an entire portion of our demographic.
There we go.
Except we don't have any large trucks on this channel. Your truck has a V6.
Well, the other one has a V8, but it hadn't run. Yeah, it moved. Try it again. Okay, I guess if it goes up, it should go to down, I guess?
I'm just tapping this.
Okay. So that was a cycle. All right, then those should be down now.
No.
Yep.
That's kind of loud.
It is kind of loud. But it works.
Oh, that's intermittent still.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
I may have that arm in the wrong spot.
Do some extra verification and slap on one wiper in a weird spot just to see what it's doing. Make sure the
because we're
motions-
pretty sure the arm's in the wrong spot. I'm going to have to adjust that arm. Whoops. That worked real well.
Oh, I'm stupid. I'm dumb. Just put it back where it's supposed to rest. In you doofus, you clean the windshield, the mark where we're supposed to see where the...
No, I didn't clean that one. There was no mark down there. It was up there.
You doofus. So what are you trying? What are you trying to think that you did wrong?
The arm's in the wrong position. Okay, I pulled the arm back off, and what I'm going to do is put this on here. See, that should be max there. So that's max point. I can't film and do this. Okay. So that's max travel that way. So it should be max travel that way is there. It should be like that on that. And that should be the down point on this. Let's see how that won't. Let me go back. You can see the engine. I don't have it clicking, but it's there, and then it doesn't move any further, so that tells me down, and that's the position it needs to be in anyways, down. I don't want to tighten it down yet. I just need to loosen it down. That way I can see where it goes to.
My brilliant idea.
Yeah, it worked. It was easier than dealing with this thing.
We didn't want to attach that,
and
we just want to test the range of motion of it, and we didn't want that to get stuck under here and then strip teeth out.
So
on the
I could
motor.
adjust this arm into the right position. It looks to be in the right position now.
I know there's somebody in the comments that would be like, "You guys are total idiots. You're doing it all the wrong way."
Well, for one thing, I didn't mark it before I started, which I should have done. But then again, it was in the wrong position because it wasn't cycling properly. Okay, and now I'll check.
That looks like a full range of motion.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, it looks like at some point
it was marked.
This was scratching on itself.
Yeah, it does look that way.
Maybe that's why it sounded like sandpaper.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not like the bushings or something on these.
No, everything seemed to move fine and not be too awful loose. Now I'm just trying.
Or they had this bolt loose and then this was sitting down too low or something.
This is always the part of doing this stuff that, well, normally these are a nightmare to get to. It wasn't too bad, but.
Hey, Carl.
Yeah?
You look like a young Santa Claus.
Well, I'm getting there.
You got the rosy cheeks and the red nose.
It's cold today. Not horribly so, but cold enough that it's...
We should have used windshield, like, dealership paint or something.
I'm just going to loosen that and adjust this because it's this.
There's, look, that line right there.
That line right there. And now I've got to fiddle with it and see where it adjusts because it's got teeth. So it's going to adjust down a little different.
I'm holding it so that you can tighten it down without it moving.
Let it go. And I got to get it to seat in the teeth. There we go. I'm not going to tighten it much because this is going to be a test. Because it's going to be, I got to put the covers back on, but I don't want to put everything back together before testing and seeing what this does.
I would Would you be able to try to hold this up a little bit in case if it goes down too far or something?
I can hold it up.
Make sure it doesn't get caught underneath the windshield.
Tell me if I've got a shot. Oh, I got a shot here. This is gonna be stupid, but
don't let it hit you in the face or anything.
It'll hit me in the face. So it did go down too far. So it's going to need to be up a little bit. But we're in the right range. The arm, I think, is right now, maybe? Or did that drop way too low?
We'll figure it out. We just got to do some fiddling till it gets right.
All right, after all that, which I don't know what all got filmed, we're back to doing what I was doing originally, which is coming here, just softly putting this down so you get this arm set at the max angle. Lowering the arm to a point where you can match it. And then putting the right bolt back there so that the arm's in the right spot. And then we can adjust this arm to be where it needs to be exactly afterwards. But it's mainly just getting, and now I've messed that one up, but I got to put this bolt on a little tighter because that arm's still moving about. There. Get that off.
Famous Carl mumbles.
Yeah.
Crazy Carl mumbles.
But, yeah, it looks like it should be directly that way for furthest distance. And then we can adjust exactly where the arms go after the fact. Okay, yes. It's recording this time, I think. But we got it set so that this is facing straight that way. That has it stopping. When it ends, it's going to be at the lowest point for the wiper. That way, when we put this all together, I can get those wiper arms set up. And that's going to be the next step after we put it back together.
Does that make any sense?
Yeah. And I'm going to replace these clips. I lost one over there. And I broke this one, so I'm going to put new clips on these corner pieces. I'm sorry, I'm filming, so it's horrible. I don't think you saw anything I was talking about, but these are broken. These aren't the originals anyways. A little bit of armor all done. So I'm not having to replace these rubbers in the near future.
What are you doing? Ah!
I'm putting the thing back together. I just had to move the arm, and I'm trying to tell where I'm going to set it where it doesn't get stepped on.
I could hold it and beat you with it.
That's why I didn't hand it to you.
You're no fun.
Okay. Now you got to watch this one. There's a little slide clip here. I pulled that out yesterday and had a hard time getting this back together because that goes in there.
Yeah.
And it took me a little while to realize it. And this one clips in here. So, put that clip back.
Carl's 3 arms over here. Oh, yeah.
And there you go. It's a little trick because it's a slide up and slide in. And then that has to go in there. And then that goes there.
There's a little clip right here. There's little clips everywhere that kind of don't actually match, but we're pretending that they do.
They do match. They clip in. I didn't clip it all the way down last time completely because it was coming apart again. And then the rubber that shrank, so that don't see. Okay.
Carl, your engine bay needs pressure wash.
It just needs a duster. And that goes there.
Is that the Plymouth or Dacia type?
Either will work.
Excuse me. Dacia. Guess what? The Dacia Sandero. Okay, never mind. Only true car enthusiasts will understand the excitement of the Dacia Sandero.
Which this is missing. This is supposed to have 2 more pins.
We have some of those in the garage.
There's one there. Oh, we got these little doohickeys. And they just go doopity doopity.
And then they snap in, kind of.
Yeah, they will if I get them. There we go.
Maybe not as well as the original.
Not as well as the original, and then this slides under there. So there we go. So yeah, that way there we go.
Please don't dump this.
Yeah,
everywhere.
I'm trying my best not to. And then I need a couple to replace these.
There's also different sizes in there.
Okay, and there we go. That's all reassembled.
It's attached.
It's attached. It's reassembled. Let's get rid of the broken one before it
Oh,
goes.
and we filled up the brake.
Yeah, I topped
Thing
off
a little
the
bit.
master cylinder.
Yeah.
It's just both brake and clutch, I think. It's everything.
Bippity boppity. No, we've run into a storm. Oh no. Oh gosh.
Now, the biggest problem I run into, I had it adjusted so it wiped the windshield all the way over to here. But then this blade sticks out where it's in your line of vision when you're driving.
Let's do something real quick. Real quick. Where do you rest on here? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. So about three fingers-ish worth. Okay, okay. Whoop, I dropped my keys. Gotta run. Yeah, that seems right. Don't touch it.
I'm just tightening. I'm done.
3 fingers. Maybe it's a little too far over this way, but it does
I'm
have like
happy.
a... Yeah, you're...
Because it's out of your line of vision, so I'm happy with it. Now I'm just snugging it.
And then where did the little cappy...
They're in the floorboard over there.
Cappy clips? Your car's farting.
Yeah, I gotta replace
That's
the exhaust.
rude.
Okay, you can try it again.
There's one. Ah, your car's got my foot.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, I'm happy with that.
It's a little wee, but that's better than the sandpaper. There we go. Oh no. There we go.
There we go. Good and snug.
Good and tight.
Wooden tight.
Click. We have wipelators that don't sound like... Wait a minute. Lou, let's do a comparison. Insert the old one.
They go up, but not back down.
Insert the old sound. Now the new one. There we go. What do you think about the outcome?
I think it's a good improvement. And the joints all seem good, so the magnetism seems good. And I added a little extra grease to them, so they should still be good for a long time.
There we go. Okay.
Yep, that's all of it. It's all back together. You might get some bonus footage of me covering up where the paint's coming off with some black fingernail polish at some point. It works. Maybe some clear polish or something hot the glass here, but it's that's it. These wipers are fixed. Motor, no grindies. This is something I knew was going to happen. Luckily, it was only the motor assembly.
The $53 part, not the $108 part.
Yeah. Yeah, and I put a little extra, some new grease that use stuff that will not eat into it and won't hurt any grease that was in there. It'll just kind of revitalize whatever's in there. Just to give it a little good moving and rust resistance. Cleaned out the drain so it won't build water up. The water won't build up around it. Put some good sealant on the wiring so it should be good for a good while to go. So that's it for this time. Like, share, subscribe, and hope to see you next time. So long.